So guys, in this video, I'm going to share some price predictions with you for the cryptocurrency called KAS or Kaspa. And I'm going to share not just my opinions, but some predictions from some of the top investors in the cryptocurrency space. And I'm also going to share just some things with Kaspa that you mightn't know about because Kaspa is really, really big deal that is probably one of the biggest developments, or definitely one of the biggest developments that's ever happened in the crypto space. So let's get into it. So Kaspa cryptocurrency, before I go into price predictions, let's just talk for a very quick second here about why this is so unique, this cryptocurrency. So firstly, just if we read up here, Kaspa just has some unique features that every cryptocurrency have. The project has no mined tokens, which no pre-mined tokens this person meant. So that Kaspa is mined, but none of them were pre-mined and given to anyone. No ICO and no venture capitalists. Now, that's a big deal because it means that this project was just released. Nobody got a load of the tokens, and that 3 or 4 years down the line, they can dump it on people for whatever price they want to dump it for. The only way to get the Kaspa token is by mining it. And then this person went on to say, Kaspa has the ability to maintain the level of security offered by other proof-of-work environments while allowing for large block rates, which ETH did not achieve. And this token has shown massive price movement and that blah, blah, blah. But yeah, I'm going to get into a bit more on this point here about the level of security and then the large block rates, because that's really interesting. Because okay, if you don't know this, KAS is such a big deal, and I didn't know this for a long time. But KAS, it's basically, if you take the biggest developments that have ever happened in blockchain technology, they would go Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Kaspa. And Kaspa is the biggest of all those achievements, really, because it delivers on the vision of Satoshi Nakamoto. So KAS is exactly what Bitcoin and Ethereum both aim to be, in that it is decentralized, secure, scalable, so it can serve the needs of the whole world. It solves the trilemma, and it can run smart contracts. So I'll just discuss that a little bit more here. So this is Vitalik Buterin, who I'm sure you know, who created Ethereum. And basically with Bitcoin, the whole goal that Satoshi Nakamoto had was to create a cryptocurrency to create a currency that was not controlled by any government, not controlled by any banks, that was completely decentralized, that was very secure, and was completely scalable to serve the needs of the world. And he achieved that 66% of the way, but he had an issue in that it was decentralized, it was super secure, but the problem was that it wasn't a scalable blockchain. So it was decentralized because miners all over the world gave their power to the Bitcoin network in exchange for Bitcoin tokens. And by doing that, they decentralized the Bitcoin network. And then it was secure because each of those miners would validate transactions with their compute power as well and get paid in Bitcoin for doing that. So it was decentralized and super secure, but it wasn't scalable because Bitcoin only allows one block to be added. I think it's every 10 minutes. And this meant that when you'd make a transaction on the Bitcoin network, it could take anywhere from 10 minutes to an hour during quiet times. It was really expensive as well. It could cost anywhere from $10 to $50 sometimes to send a transaction. And then during busy times, it just got worse. It got more expensive, and it could take a day or more for your transaction to go through. So it couldn't scale to the needs of a city, never mind the whole world. And then Vitalik Buterin came along and had the next big development in the blockchain space, which was he added smart contracts to the Ethereum network, meaning that when certain things happened, contracts executed on the network. To explain it simply, he also then had a platform that was decentralized and secure, but it wasn't scalable, exact same as Bitcoin. And what Vitalik did then was he switched to a proof of stake model, And with that proof of stake model, he gave up some of that decentralization and some of that security to make Bitcoin way more scalable. But again, it didn't serve all the needs to blockchain. And Vitalik Buterin coined this phrase that he called the blockchain trilemma. And basically, what he said the blockchain trilemma was this unsolvable kind of balancing act that you have between the three pillars of blockchain technology, the three pillars being decentralization, security, and scalability. And he said that you could only ever be strong in two of these areas, and you had to sacrifice another area to be strong in each of these areas. And that's why Ethereum, in many respects, is kind of a failed project. And, then Vitalik and many other geniuses out there thought that this was just an unsolvable problem that could, never be worked out. But then, incredibly, the Kaspa network actually went about solving this and has managed to solve the blockchain trilemma. And Kaspa now is, completely decentralized, completely secure, just like Bitcoin and Ethereum, but it can scale to 100 blocks per second. So bearing in mind that Bitcoin and Ethereum could only do 1 block per 10 minutes, this can do 100 blocks per second, or will be able to soon. At the moment, I think it can do about 10, but it will be able to soon. So completely solves the trilemma that Vitalik Buterin was talking about, and you can run smart contracts on it. So basically, Kaspa is the ultimate evolution of blockchain technology, and it's what blockchain technology has been trying to achieve forever. So it's a really, really big deal. Now, I would like to say there's a project called Cubic, and it's running quorum technology, which is another evolution that's really interesting, but we can talk about that in another video, or watch any of my other videos. You'll see me talking about that as well. So anyway, let's get on to the price prediction stuff, because that's the most interesting things. I just want to go and look at a few different people's opinions here, and then share some thoughts of my own. So, a person that I always look at when I'm thinking of price predictions is this guy called Master, or he's at Monitor on X. And this guy, he's really accurate when he makes predictions. He's a trader, but he's really accurate at making predictions from months, from a month out to a year out. And he's generally quite pessimistic about the markets as well. He's always looking for the downside. And that's why I like him, because he always gives me that pessimistic point of view. But he's always very accurate about things. But what I thought was interesting is this guy, he's never promoting any coin. He's never all about any coin. But if you look for the nuggets, sometimes you'll find what coins he thinks are going to perform really well. And he shared a post only recently at the start of March when he said, most coins will get sent to Valhalla. Few will probably make it past 2030. And if I have to choose 15 of those, I will go for these. Now, bear in mind, Pierre, he's not saying these are the only 15 coins. He's just saying that if I had to choose 15, these are 15 that he would go for in no particular order that he thinks are going to stick around after 2030. So he said Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Avalanche, Link. And look what's here. You've got Kaspa here. You've got all the big cryptocurrencies that we all know about, but he's got KAS in here, and KAS was only launched a couple of years before this and isn't even a major project now, but he obviously sees KAS as a huge long-term play in the crypto market. So that's a reason to be bullish, but it's not a price prediction. But when we get to price predictions, someone that I always love to look at, because I think they're really good at making their price predictions. I think they've got a really great track record and are really successful. I'm not saying that they're right about everything. They don't have a magic ball where they can just predict, or a crystal ball where they can predict the future. But I think they're a good goalpost to make predictions based off. So, the person is Braver Crypto, and again, you can follow this guy on X. He's brilliant, I think, anyway. So, he says here, I said this before and I'll say it again, I don't think anything will outperform KAS in this crypto market cycle. Bear market, bull market, beginning to end, nothing will do it. So now he means in terms of when you look at KAS at its lowest point, which, it's far beyond, but at its lowest point, he thinks nothing will outperform it from that lowest point to its end point where it's going to go. And And just for example, then you can see someone here was trolling him a bit and just said, lol, mystical investor that buys at lows and sells at the Pico top. And as he said here, it's only mythical to you because you haven't actually done it. Be more open-minded and maybe that fact won't be a fact any longer in your future. And then this guy said, no, brother, nobody unless he's dead or forgot his keys can hold over 1000x, let alone what you just said. But this guy, if you look at his X account, he's proven facts of doing 100x's and 1000x's. I think this person here probably just doesn't know who he's talking to. But if you search through his Twitter page or his X page and his profile, you're going to find that information in there that he actually does make these calls. So Braver Crypto then went on to say that if you've got the investor mentality of that person, then firstly, I look forward to proving you wrong. And he said, I have documented proof of buying KAS at, fractions of a cent. And when KAS hits 77 cent, that's when he's going to do his 1000x. And he'll be holding much longer than 77 cent. Because his target for this bull run is $3 to $5 by peak bull run. So I think KAS is sitting around 12 cent right now. So basically, Braver Crypto is saying that he expects KAS 30x or 50x from here. And now you can ask yourself, well, is that likely? And nothing's likely, nothing's proven, but the way I'd look at it is, again, we're talking about the iterations of blockchain technology, Bitcoin being the first big development, Ethereum being the second big development, and then we had proof of stake came around, which was trying to solve that trilemma, but it wasn't close to solving the trilemma, but it made blockchain technology more scalable. So it was the next iteration. And that's why Solana became a big deal. That's why Cardano became a big deal. And if you look Solana and you check its market cap, Solana hit a market cap only recently of $90 billion. And it hit, the last cycle, it hit close to $80 billion. And like I said, kind of Solana's irrelevant now. Cardano's irrelevant now. The real steps in blockchain technology have been Bitcoin, Ethereum. Guess you could give proof of stake a mention, but the big deal development is KAS and what they have managed to achieve. And then we look at Cardano. Cardano, last cycle, it's crashed a lot since then, but last cycle it hit a market cap of 90 billion. So we're looking at both Solana and Cardano, two projects that don't come close to providing a solution that KAS does, and they've hit a 90 billion market cap. And if we were to look at KAS's chart here, KAS currently has a market cap at time of making this less than 3 billion. So for it to hit that 90 billion market cap, it would have to do a 30x. But then if we look, I want to look at the Bitcoin chart here because the whole market is based off Bitcoin, and the higher Bitcoin could go, the more money that's going to flow into the whole market, and the whole crypto market's just flowing it's just growing in general. So we'd expect the top 10 cryptos in the crypto market this cycle to have a far bigger market cap than they did in 2017, 2021, because you can see in 2021 the whole crypto space was so much bigger than 2017. Like before this 2021 run, when you looked at the crypto market, this was all bumps up and down. It didn't look as level as this. And then you got to 2017 and it was this huge run up. It was, filling the whole page. But then 2021 came around and all of a sudden it's making 2017 look just like a tiny bit of fluctuation. Now, I think probably quite likely, if you're just looking at these charts, it's probably quite likely that Bitcoin is going to shoot up so high that all of a sudden 2021 is going to start looking like 2017. And from that, the reason I'm talking about Bitcoin is from that you can draw that KAS, being the most revolutionary blockchain technology ever, it's most likely going to be a top 5 crypto project, probably this cycle. So it's most likely going to go up close to that 100 billion market cap. So for that reason, it does seem like a no-brainer. And then in 2025, my buddy came and shared this with me, but this is really just an interesting thing as well. There's so much good news lined up, to come for the bull market. And at the start of 2025, banks are going to start being able to hold 2% of their foreign exchange reserves in Bitcoin and Ethereum and other altcoins, which is just going to be a catalyst to, knock this crypto cycle on even higher. So just can't imagine where that Bitcoin top is going to be this time, but it's most likely going to be very, very, very high. And in turn, KAS most likely is going very high. The only reason it can be down around at, a market cap under 3 billion is that people don't understand this yet and don't realize that the whole issue that Ethereum and Bitcoin were trying to solve has finally, after about 15 years, it has finally been solved, and this is the solution that's going to solve it. And the minute the market catches on to this, it's going to blow up. And the same with Cubic, because Cubic in a different way has solved the same problem. 2 projects that I think are going to blow up absolutely massive. So it's time to be, so what I would say to you is, if you're a KAS investor and you've invested since the start, and I know you're probably tempted to sell right now, I would not sell. This is as close to guaranteed that this is going to go up as anything could ever be guaranteed. So it's exciting times to be a KAS holder. And that is all, guys. I will see you on the outside.